You don't need thousands of dollars to start investing in real estate. Yes, you heard that right. You can build wealth in real estate without using your own money. Whether you're short on cash, credit, or connections, this video breaks down the exact strategies people are using today to get started. Smart, legal, proven strategies that work even if you're starting from zero. So if you're serious about changing your life, hit that like button, subscribe to Roof to Riches, and let's unlock the doors to financial freedom, step by step. Let's start with one of the most powerful concepts in all of investing, OPM, or other people's money. Here's the truth. Just because you don't have money doesn't mean you can't invest. What you do need is a good deal, because investors with money are always looking for solid opportunities, and if you bring the right one, they'll fund it. Start by learning how to find deals that make financial sense. You don't need to be a genius, just understand how to calculate basic cash flow, repair costs, and value potential. Once you've got a deal lined up, pitch it to people in your circle, friends, family, local business owners, or real estate networking groups. Offer to manage the entire process, from finding the property to overseeing renovations and getting tenants. You can offer your investor equity in the deal or a fixed return on their money. For example, say you find a duplex that brings in $1,200 per month after expenses. You get it under contract, negotiate repairs, and handle tenants. Your investor puts up the down payment and rehab costs. In return, you split the profits 50-50 or give them a fixed monthly return. This is how many first-time investors build their portfolios, with none of their own cash. Remember, if you don't have money, be the hustle. Bring the deal, manage the work, and create a win-win. Seller financing is one of the most underrated ways to buy real estate without needing a loan from a bank. In this method, the seller becomes the lender. You make payments directly to them instead of applying for a traditional mortgage. Why would a seller do this? Simple. They avoid agent commissions. They get steady income over time. They offload a property they no longer want or need. This works especially well with older owners who have paid off their mortgage or landlords tired of managing rentals. These sellers are often more flexible with the terms, especially if they're motivated or struggling to sell through traditional channels. Look for listings that say things like "owner will finance" or "no bank needed." Sites like Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and Zillow sometimes feature them, especially in smaller markets. You'll want to negotiate terms like, low or no down payment, interest-only payments for a few years, a balloon payment in year 5, or a plan to refinance later. This gives you time to fix up the property, build equity, and improve your credit. So when that balloon payment comes due, you can refinance into a traditional loan. With seller financing, you can skip credit checks, avoid bank fees, and take control of properties others can't touch. It's creative, flexible, and perfect for beginners willing to learn how to structure win-win deals. BRRRR stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat, and it's one of the most powerful wealth-building tools in real estate, especially if you don't have a lot of cash up front. Here's how it works. You start by buying a distressed property, one that needs work. You use a hard money loan or private financing to cover the purchase and renovation costs. Next, you rehab the property to increase its value. Paint, flooring, kitchens, bathrooms. Basic updates can boost value fast. Then you rent the property to a qualified tenant, creating monthly cash flow. Once it's stabilized, you go to a bank or credit union to refinance the property based on its new, higher value. The goal? Pull out most or all of your original investment. Then, you repeat the process with that same capital. Example: you buy a fixer-upper for $100,000, put in $30,000 in renovations, and the after-repair value is now $170,000. You rent it out for $1,500 a month. The bank refinances you at 75% of the new value. That's $127,500. You pay off the $130,000 in costs and you're almost whole again, and now own a cash-flowing asset. This strategy is how many investors grow portfolios of 10, 20, or 50 plus units without using their own money after the first deal. The BRRRR method takes hustle and planning, but it's a game changer. If you want control of a property without owning it outright, lease options, also known as rent-to-own, are a powerful strategy. This gives you the legal right to control a property for a set period, while you pay rent and have the option to purchase it later. You're not committing to buy, just locking in the right to do so. Why does this work? Because it allows you to benefit from future appreciation and cash flow without needing a big down payment. Many landlords, especially in tough markets, are open to creative deals if it means they'll get steady income and fewer headaches. With a lease option, you typically pay a small upfront option fee, often just a few $1,000s, or even less if you negotiate well. In return, you can rent out the property to long-term tenants or on Airbnb lock in a purchase price while the market appreciates build equity without a mortgage delay buying while fixing credit or building capital. Let's say you find a home worth $200,000. The seller agrees to a 2-year lease with an option to buy at $210,000. During those 2 years, you rent it out for $1,500 a month. If the market value rises to $240,000, you've just gained $30,000 in instant equity when you exercise your option. This is a low-risk, high-upside play that gives you control over valuable real estate without traditional financing. Mastering lease options can unlock doors when banks say no and your wallet says not yet. House hacking is one of the smartest and most beginner-friendly ways to start investing, especially if you're willing to live in the property. In fact, many real estate millionaires started here. Here's how it works. You buy a small multi-family property, like a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, using an FHA loan, which requires just 3.5% down. You live in one unit and rent out the others. The rent you collect from tenants helps cover or even eliminate your mortgage payment. Let's do the math. Say you buy a $300,000 triplex with an FHA loan. That's about $10,500 down. You live in one unit and rent out the other two for $1,000 each. That's $2,000 coming in. If your mortgage is $2,200, you're almost living for free, or possibly even making money. Here's the best part. After living there for 1 year, as required by FHA, you can move out, rent your unit, and do it again. This is how you slowly build a real estate portfolio, one property at a time, while dramatically lowering your cost of living. House hacking builds your income, lowers expenses, and gets your foot in the door, all with minimal upfront capital. It's not just a hack, it's a wealth-building lifestyle. Don't have money, credit, or even a desire to own property yet? Then wholesaling might be your best bet. It's the ultimate entry-level hustle for real estate beginners. Here's how it works. You find a discounted property, something below market value, often from a distressed or motivated seller. You get it under contract at a great price. You assign that contract to an end buyer, usually an investor or house flipper. You get paid a wholesale fee, typically between $5,000 to $20,000 plus, just for connecting the dots. You never buy the property. You never need a loan. You're simply the middleman who gets paid for finding great deals. All you need to start is a phone, a script, and hustle. Call property owners, send direct mail, or use online platforms like Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or PropStream to find leads. Focus on sellers with vacant homes, divorce, foreclosure, or job loss. Homes in disrepair. Once you have a signed contract, connect with local real estate investors and present the deal. If it's good, they'll take it, and you'll collect your fee at closing. Wholesaling teaches you negotiation, deal analysis, and people skills, all while making money with no capital required. It's how many 6- and 7-figure investors got started. As you've seen, there are multiple ways to invest in real estate without using your own money. Whether it's using other people's money, seller financing, BRRRR, lease options, house hacking, or wholesaling, the tools are all here. The difference isn't your bank account, it's your mindset and willingness to learn. If you apply even just one of these strategies, you can start building passive income, equity, and long-term wealth today. Want a free checklist breaking down all 6 of these no-money strategies? Check the link in the description below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I'm ready if you're ready to take that first step from roof to riches.